That's definitely some kind of little animal. Whoa! Ooh. Well, you might see a UFO, Bigfoot or a ghost. Well, come to me, 'cause I am the host of the greatest paranormal channel in the world to give you raptures. Classified captures. Classified captures. Whoa, yeah. In case you're wondering, that's the doll crying. I can't be the only one who can tell that it sounds like it's suffering, right? That's not normal. This was uploaded by a lady called Giovanni. Her family had gotten this doll for her little sister because little girls love dolls. At first, it worked normally until the crying spell started. It's not unusual for dolls to have crying audio, but this particular one was not supposed to. Yeah. There's no mention of the doll crying anywhere on its box or manual. It's supposed to sing and tell stories, that's it. Somehow, this doll learned to cry by itself and would cry for a long time until it suddenly stops, then switches to crying. The family initially uploaded this, asking if any other family had similar problems with that doll. No one who had bought it was having similar problems, though. It kept getting worse, so their dad had to confiscate it. See, this part where the camera shakes, yeah, well, that's not an effect that randomly happened while they were filming before the doll switched to the laughter. This, to some, is proof that something weird is going on with the doll. There are a few who are skeptical about the whole thing. They feel the family is doing this for their 5 minutes of fame. Personally, I'm not sure about that. If this belonged to my daughter, I'd burn it, but I might be overreacting. Plus, I don't have kids. What do you think is going on here, and how would you have handled this situation if it were happening in your home?
Ay, mi cámara sí.
Paranormal. ¿Hola? No te apures. Estoy pensando. ¿Qué es esto que me regaló mi mamá?
¿Pero qué tiene? Di, el lobo.
Would you believe me if I told you that the pale-looking figure behind the child was not there when they took the picture? This picture was uploaded online by the parents of the girl in that image. They'd recently moved into this property, and their teen daughters were moving through as many rooms as they could, playing and taking pictures. Everything had been smooth up to this point until one of them noticed that there was a strange figure behind her sister in one of the images. That shouldn't have been possible because they were the only ones in that room when they took the photograph. They quickly shared the image with their mom, who naturally became scared and worried. They'd been excited to live in this property, but the excitement vanished once they moved in. There was always something strange occurring and happening. They'd begun to feel the place was haunted. They banished the idea because it sounded, well, silly and childish, until her teens took this image. She shared this online, hoping someone would have an explanation. Everyone, however, told her to leave the place and take back her money if she could. Personally, that's what I would do too. There are some who suggested involving a priest. Well, if she decides to go down that route, I wish her well. Personally, I'd just return the key and take my money. Hey, that looks like a little raccoon's hand or something. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think this is AI. That's definitely some kind of little animal. I'm just not sure what it is. Personally, if that was my home, I'd be calling some kind of animal rescuer guy, not an exterminator or anything like that. This little creature obviously is trying to do something. What animal has those kinds of claws? No idea. Up to you. Can you tell me? Now we got a guy here who allegedly captures a Bigfoot going for a portal. Whoa! Now, let's just stop this straight away, okay? Any video program these days can do that in a heartbeat. That's not even AI, that's not CGI, that's just something a 5-year-old kid can do on his computer. So let's just move on, because quite frankly, what? Still on strange apparitions, take a look at this. Do you see anything out of place? No? Really? Look. See it? Yeah. There's a little girl lying under the bouncy castle. The castle was actually being deflated when this clip was recorded. The little girl had been jumping on it and told her parents that she felt like there was something underneath it. Initially, they dismissed her concerns because, well, kids are like that, right? The little girl, however, remained persistent, leading to her mom to give in. According to her mom, who uploaded the clip, they didn't see anything while recording the video. They simply had the camera running just in case they captured something. They never really captured anything and scolded the girl. That was at least what she thought until she went through the clip later and realized her daughter was right. Sounds like a sad, spooky story, right? Well, the community isn't buying it. They feel like there are too many holes in the story. Some even asked how they captured and had the ghost in the middle of the frame if they couldn't see it. Others asked why it looked like the girl was pointing out the ghost in the clip. Now, I know there will always be skeptics when it comes to these things, even in the paranormal community. For the first time in a long time, however, I feel like these skeptics might actually have a point. What do you think? Take a look at the image to see what's wrong with it. And no, I'm not referring to the quality of the image. This was actually captured on a phone from the early 2000s, so the quality won't be great. Pay attention to the area behind the little girl in the picture. There's something strange looking there. Yeah? A mother captured this image of her young daughter in their home. It was just the two of them in that house at the moment the image was taken, yet somehow there's a second figure in the image. Now, when you take a second and third look at the figure in the background, you start to realize that its body looks unnatural and contorted. The picture was recently uploaded by the young girl in the photograph, asking if any of us could help her identify the strange object. Naturally, no one could. Some suggested a shadow person, others thought it was a spirit. A few others asked her to ignore it if her life was okay. They told her she had no business investigating sleeping dogs and that sometimes it was best just to let that sleeping dog lie. You've seen it, so what do you think? One of you sent this in after my rant about the sun in our last episode. The person filming in this clip appears to be filming the sun, right? Alright, well, pay attention as it comes up. Do you see it? There's something spherical behind the sun. Once the sun fully rises, we don't see it anymore. It's completely overshadowed by the brightness of the sun. Confused, the person who recorded this uploaded it online seeking clarity. Some mentioned it might have been the moon, but the scientists in the group stated that the moon couldn't possibly be near the sun as it was rising. Others, like the one who sent it to me, believe that this is proof that our sun isn't at all what we've been told it is. Confusing, I know, but well, let's do a little brainstorming and thinking here. If the footage is genuine and true, what exactly do you think we just saw by the sun? Please share your thoughts. This clip takes us all the way to Mexico. The woman recording this clip has lost many of her chickens and eggs to a creature she'd yet to see with her eyes. She tried many traps to capture whatever was eating up her investments, and try as she did, nothing worked. Confused and upset after many futile attempts to capture the culprit, she decided to stay up all night till whatever was behind the whole thing appeared. It was a good decision because at some point a little after midnight she heard strange sounds. She quickly rushed to where her chickens were, and sure enough she saw something there. At first glance, she believed she was looking at a fox, but the more she looked, the more she realized this was no fox. It had a humanoid body that stood more than 6 feet tall. It was scared of her presence. No, it wasn't. It just stared directly at her without wavering. Once she'd captured enough, she retreated to the safety of her cabin, and the thing didn't come chasing. She uploaded it online asking for help in dealing with her cryptid problem. Some insisted it was a fox, whereas others told it to never be alone at night. They suspected she might have seen a variant of the Dogman. Well, you've seen the clip now, so what do you think we're dealing with here? Looks like Godzilla, I know. Spoiler alert, it's not. Meet the marine iguana. This thing is real, and it's one of the only lizards on Earth that swims and feeds in the ocean. Found only in the Galapagos Islands, it dives into cold, rough water to graze on algae, clinging to rocks like it belongs there. And yeah, it looks prehistoric for a reason. Those spikes, that blunt face, the way it moves, it hasn't changed much in millions of years. But here's the part that gets people. After swimming, it literally sneezes out salt like a tiny dragon clearing its system. Not a monster, not a myth, just evolution doing something wild right in front of us. This beautiful clip was captured by Kenzo Kyron. Look him up for more interesting clips on nature. We really need to thank God these creatures aren't much larger than us. Imagine having to deal with one of these while on a boat. I called it, and it's really here. There's an official league for robots. This was captured in Shenzhen, China, and the league features 32 teams from all over the globe competing for supremacy. These teams will battle it out for a slot in the December finals. Yeah, it's that structured and quickly attracting investors. They've even already got an audience. The first robot humanoid competition is here. Boxing may take a hit and not survive. That's how it usually is with these things, so you tell me. Would you prefer to see robots taking each other out, or still prefer to see humans fighting and potentially killing themselves? Now, there are a few things that scare me, and that includes men who decide to record instead of fleeing while staring danger in the face. And this clip, for instance, was allegedly captured by a man in West Virginia. He heard strange sounds in his home, and instead of fleeing and getting help, he decided to stay back, go through his security camera, and find the perpetrator behind the noise. The clip playing on your screen is what he allegedly captured, and yeah, you're right. That's a gray. The creature somehow decided to visit and explore his home for no reason. After it had looked around, it left. Calling people and telling them there's an alien in your house does a lot to hurt your reputation. Not many took him seriously, and when he was finally safe and uploaded the clip, not many believed it either. They believe he had doctored the tape, searching for his 5 minutes of fame. The man insists it's real and has sworn by anything answerable that he is telling the truth. What do you think is going on here? Oh, jeez, man. This reminds me of when I was a teenager going to pubs and you'd end up picking up some strange girl and wake up the next morning with your fist in your mouth going, "Oh, what did I just do? What did I just do?" You remember that? Imagine you're sitting at home waiting for your husband. He usually comes back late, and the neighborhood is not exactly the safest, so your mind is already on edge. Then you see him arrive. He gets off his bike, but something feels off. Instead of heading inside, he pauses. He starts gesturing into the air like he's talking to someone he cannot see. He points, gives directions, then waves again like he's sending something away. Now tell me, what's the first thought that crosses your mind? For the woman who watched this play out, it was pure horror. She quickly rushed toward the door to ask her husband what he was doing. When he was finally in, he told her he had just met one of the palest humans he'd ever seen. He then asked if the CCTV camera was not working. His wife then told him it was working, but she just couldn't see who or what he was talking to. It was at this moment that the reality hit him. He might have actually encountered a dead person or a strange spirit. Scared, his wife uploaded this online asking what they could do to protect themselves and what this actually meant. Personally, I'm not sure, but this is a situation I wouldn't wish on anyone. Maybe, just maybe, my enemies. Not that I have many of them. But you get what I mean, right? We've spoken about strange rock formations possibly being giants that died or petrified. If there were giants that size, then, well, there should have been trees that are much larger than what we now see to sustain them, right? Well, those stumps might just prove there were. I know what you're thinking. What stumps? Those are rocks. Maybe they are, maybe they're all just the remains of the great ancient trees that were cut down. These 3D recreations show what the ancient world could have possibly looked like. There are large rock formations around the world that simply don't make sense. Most of them are surrounded by deserts now. It's possible that these were great large trees. Once they died or were cut down, the surrounding green around them started to die as well, leading to these desert areas. Geologists will tell you most of these desert areas with these stumps were once green with flowing rivers and the like. I know it might sound like a stretch, but think about it, just for a little bit, and tell me what you think. And just like that, we're back to these suspicious-looking birds again. Geez, someone sent this to us via mail because of our recent clips on the subject. This was allegedly recorded by someone they personally know. And looking at this one, however, it appears to have some sort of mini solar panel attached to its back. This one seems less mechanical. It rather looks like a biological being carrying something on its back. Now, I'm tempted to think it's being tracked across the globe for research, but then again, I could be wrong. It's not like I haven't been before. This could still be a spy drone. Personally, I'm leaning toward the research bird bit, but you've seen it too, so tell me what you think. This is actually happening in the sky. Clouds don't move like that, do they? The uploader claims they randomly noticed this in the sky, and when they started to record, the wisps began moving on their own. Now, I did a little reading around but couldn't find anything on this. Can anyone help us with an explanation? Do you guys see anything? Now, I almost scrolled past this one until I noticed the stick figure. Pay attention. It's very faint. Right in the middle of the footage, you can tell there's something moving. It looks like a stick figure of sorts. The clip was captured a few days ago in Indiana. The Ring camera alerted the owner of the home that there was something in front of the house. At first, she didn't see it either until she noticed that there was something in the form of a stick figure moving in front of the house. Everyone told her it might be a spirit not fully materialized in our plane. Some also accused her of wasting their time over nothing. Take a very good look at the footage and tell me what you think. New Orleans is known for a lot of things, and anyone who is familiar with the paranormal knows that they have more than ghost stories coming out of that place. Vampires and the like are a normal occurrence, which makes this strange photo not so shocking. This was captured during a wedding. There's a photo bomber that's in the background. You guys and I have seen a lot of photographs involving spirits in the background, and they're usually in grayscale. This one is green. The uploader believes that the color is evidence that this human isn't a spirit at play, but something a bit more foul. And that has me thinking, what would a non-human spirit be doing at a wedding? Do you think someone cursed the couple or those attending? Members of the paranormal community have urged the ladies to spend time praying to make sure that the thing didn't follow them home. Do you think they really have a reason to be genuinely worried, or is everyone just overreacting to absolutely nothing? Let's hear your thoughts. I am tempted to throw this one straight into the AI pile. Jeez. It was allegedly captured by a group of kids out in the middle of nowhere, just exploring until they spotted something moving in the distance, and that's when they started recording. And what they caught, it doesn't quite add up. The body looks like a bear, big, heavy, unmistakable, but the head, well, it looks like it belongs to some kind of giant bird, not something you see every day. So what are we looking at here? A cryptid no one has ever documented before, or is something cooked up in the wild imagination of a Gen Z AI enthusiast? Let me hear your thoughts.
¿Estás viendo eso? Sí, tiene cabeza de ave. Está revisando algo en el suelo. ¿Escuchaste eso? Ten cuidado que no nos vea.
Have you ever driven in the night and faced an incoming car with bright lights? If you have, you know how annoying it can be, and these individuals capitalized on it. They were trying to get away from the police and decided to use light as a smart means of escape. One of them brings out a flashlight and turns it on. It disorients the police, who have to slow down to avoid hitting or crashing into anything or anyone, and the guys escape. The flashlight is thought to be 100,000 lumens, and boy, is it bright. Is this an escape strategy you would have ever thought of?
And here's the screenshot. It's bright enough, I'm sure you'll see it, but I guess I'll probably load it up, I don't know, whatever. There's a screenshot of the video. And here's the zoom in of what he caught in my video. I don't know.
A man out hunting managed to capture footage of a huge creature moving among the trees in the woods. The creature stood upright, walking on two legs, with a height estimated to be around 8 feet or more, covered in dark fur, matching the typical description of Bigfoot. Sightings like this continue to fuel the ongoing debate about Bigfoot's existence. Some believe this footage could be definitive proof of the elusive creature, while others remain skeptical, questioning if it could be a bear, a man in a suit, or even a trick of the camera. What's particularly striking in this footage is the creature's height and its bipedal movement. The dark fur and towering frame certainly fit the Bigfoot legend, but the question remains, is this another compelling sighting of the mythical creature or just another case of mistaken identity?
What is this?
While you share your thoughts on that, allow me to ask, have you seen any of the Star Wars films? If you have, do you recognize this? Aaron found this clip online that was allegedly recorded on this planet at an undisclosed location. Looking at the clip, it looks like a desert, a dry area with a few settlements scattered around. On second thought, it does look like a well-planned city. Moving on from that, the star of today's show is the ship flying around. The ship does look alien, and the individual filming is repeatedly heard exclaiming in awe, probably because it's unlike anything she's seen. She uploads it, hoping to find out what it is, and many who saw the clip were rather upset and offended. A few thought it looked cool and futuristic, probably alien. Others felt the person was attempting to insult their intelligence, as this looks very similar to the Millennium Falcon from the Star Wars franchise. If you've watched it, then you certainly recognized it without me having to say anything. But what do you think? Is this really a true capture of an alien ship that looks like the Millennium Falcon somewhere on Earth, or is it someone trying to mislead us for their 5 minutes of fame? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Bro, what is this?
What the Nah, what?
Yep, that's a UFO shaped like a jellyfish. You don't see these every day, but when you do, they have a way of striking fear in your heart. It's no wonder these individuals had to stop and record the experience. Now, there's not a lot of information on this. We're not told where they are filming or when exactly this happened. What we do know is that they were allegedly driving when they suddenly noticed this strange thing in the sky. They initially thought it had to be a balloon, but after several seconds it became apparent that it was no balloon. They then concluded it was a UFO and uploaded it online to get the opinions of others. In the end, the internet didn't disappoint, although some remained skeptical about the clip's authenticity. You've seen the clip. What do you think?
What the Nah, what?
Mummies have long fascinated us with their rich history, intriguing preservation techniques, and the cultural significance behind their existence. However, I recently came across a rather unsettling piece of information regarding the mummification of women that made me grimace. It turns out that female mummies often look less well preserved compared to their male counterparts, and there's a disturbing reason behind it. In ancient times, embalmers were sometimes caught desecrating the bodies of deceased women, engaging in acts of necrophilia. This horrifying behavior led grieving families to take precautions. To protect their loved ones, families would delay the embalming process, allowing the deceased woman's body to begin decomposing slightly before handing it over to the embalmers. While it's shocking to learn about such a dark aspect of history, this initiative by the families was likely a practical way to deter such heinous acts. Nocturnal creatures have special eyes that help them to see through the night and also reflect light. so you'll often see a pair of eyes floating in the dark when these creatures are around. In this trail cam footage, however, people are unsure if the eyes belong to an animal or something ominous. In the footage, we can see an unsuspecting moose standing in a field in the dead of the night. Behind it is a woodland, but in the woodlands are eyes floating in the dark. They seem to be stalking the moose as it moves strangely. Nature enthusiasts and skeptics alike are left pondering the identity of these eyes. Some argue it could be the calculated gaze of a mountain lion or a stealthy cougar silently maneuvering through the shadows. However, the plot thickens as a faction of believers emerges, suggesting a more cryptic presence. Could it be the elusive Bigfoot lurking in the darkness and keeping an eye on the unsuspecting moose? The mystery deepens on the shores of Japan as a large orange metal object mysteriously appears on the beach, leaving eyewitnesses and officials perplexed. The sheer size and weight of the object spark bewilderment, as no one can fathom how it was transported there overnight. With no clear explanation for its presence, various theories have emerged, including the possibility that it might be of extraterrestrial origin. The lack of clues makes it difficult to find the origin or purpose of the object. Either way, what's your take on this colossal orange presence on the beach? A worldly artifact, a cosmic mystery, or maybe a touch of both? In an outdoor coffee haven, a passerby stumbles upon an extraordinary sight, a massive bat suspended from the ceiling, with its wings unfurled and an inky blackness defining its form. Bats come in various sizes and species, and some can indeed be quite large. Bats are fascinating mammals and play crucial roles in ecosystems, including pollination and insect control. While they're mostly nocturnal and known for roosting in caves, trees, or other sheltered areas, it's not uncommon to see them hanging from the ceilings of outdoor structures. As you can see, this bat and many others are generally harmless to humans and are not aggressive unless provoked. So when you come across a bat, just take a picture and go your merry way.
Do you believe in time travel? No? Well, how do you explain this? We see a man at a Disney concert with Prime written on the back. At first glance, there's nothing odd, right? Until you move back to the present day and realize there's a drink today called Prime with a similar logo. Did one of their staff travel back in time, or did someone who loves their drink do so? Chances are it's a coincidence because the logo in itself is very simple and easy to replicate. That doesn't mean it couldn't also be time travel. Either way, let's hear your thoughts. Did you guys see that? What happened there? It's not every day you see a basketball blocked off by nothing, is it? A number of individuals think there was some unseen force there. There are also some who think he was going off script and was corrected by the higher-ups. How did they do that? Well, we don't know. There are some more grounded explanations, including the fact that he may have lost his grip. Not sure how that translates into a powerful kickback, but I'm sure we've got some basketball pros here. So can you guys help? When you're in the process of buying a house or property, it's always a good idea to dig into its history. Some people unknowingly purchase homes with strange pasts, sometimes even haunted ones, and it rarely ends well for them. Take this couple, for example. They just moved into a new home and almost immediately they started experiencing odd things. One night, the wife woke up to the sound of a loud clanking noise. The metal fence outside had somehow opened and the metal gates were banging against each other. Curious and a little freaked out, she decided to go outside and check, but as soon as she stepped out, the noise stopped. What she saw next was even more unsettling. A strange glowing orb was hovering above the metal fence. It wasn't a light from a street lamp or a reflection. This was something else entirely. She hurried back inside to grab a flashlight, but by the time she returned, the orb had vanished. Would you be able to stay in a house with something like that happening?
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that. How many?
The skepticism doesn't get better with our next clip, though. You know what? Well, take a look for yourself. You understand now, right? The clip starts off showing us the sun, and a few seconds in, we notice that there's a man behind it. The individuals in the clip are heard saying that God is good, attributing the sighting to an angel or representative of God. A number of religious folks who saw this believed it was the real deal, whereas non-religious folks stated that this had to be fake. Others argued that this had to be Project Bluebeam in play and that the government was still testing things out and playing with the minds of citizens. There were other theories which included this being a hologram. In the midst of all these theories, I saw a comment that caught my attention. Despite everyone's attempt to be logical, I know that deep down most individuals wished all of these things were truly real. What do you think, though? Could this be the real deal or just another digital manipulation?
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that. How many?
You gotta let these people move the timeline, play in your face, and not say anything about it. When has the Thanksgiving ever been on the 28th or towards the end of the month? It's always been on the third Thursday of the month. So they can move a date, move a holiday, and people are so distracted by things in this country that don't matter.
So this man believes there's been a shift in the timeline without us realizing it, and he believes that Thanksgiving makes this obvious. He argues that Thanksgiving has always been on the third Thursday in November. This means that Thanksgiving usually falls on the 23rd to 25th of November. Recently, however, that has changed and it's happening later. Even this year, it's on the 28th. He believes this change only occurred due to a shift in the timeline. When you listen to him, it does sound spooky, but is he really accurate? I did some research and realized Thanksgiving in the United States has not always been celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. Before 1863, individual states chose their own dates, often in October or November. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln established it as a national holiday on the last Thursday of November. However, in 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt moved it to the third Thursday to boost holiday shopping during the Great Depression. This caused some states to celebrate on different dates. This controversy led to Congress passing a law in 1941 fixing Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday of November, where it remains today. I tried to calculate that over the past 50 years. Thanksgiving has fallen on November the 23rd 7 times, November the 24th 8 times, November the 25th 7 times, November the 26th 8 times, November the 27th 8 times, November the 28th 9 times, including 2024, and November the 29th 3 times. Basically, no time shift here, unless, of course, I've been brainwashed too.
You gotta let these people move the timeline, play in your face, and not say anything about it. When has the Thanksgiving ever been on the 28th or towards the end of the month. It's always been on the third Thursday of the month.
Oh, this one too. Okay. Oh. Poke these mirrors. Ooh. Huh?
Mirrors have long been associated with the spiritual and the mysterious, often sparking intrigue and superstition. In one peculiar case, a man found himself in a puzzling situation while standing in front of two mirrors in a bathroom. To his surprise, his reflection appeared blurry and distorted, almost as though it had been scribbled over or tampered with. But the eerie part is that this was real, not an edited video or photo. The reflection was hazy and unclear, creating an unsettling effect that seemed unnatural. What could cause this? In folklore and spiritual beliefs, mirrors are often seen as portals or tools for self-reflection, sometimes literally, other times symbolically. A distorted reflection might be interpreted as a disturbance in energy, a sign of spiritual interference, or even an omen in some traditions. What do you think this could mean?
Oh, this one too. Okay. Oh. Poke these mirrors. Ooh. Huh?
Next up, we've got this clip from an elderly lady known as Vicky. Enjoy.
It's back. It keeps peeking in here on me. Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell? Ain't nobody in the other room.
The clip starts off with a camera pointed at the door. While the door certainly does look interesting with its everyday design and paint job, that's not where we're supposed to be focusing on. If we look beyond the door and the curtain behind, you'll notice that there is a face. Seen it? Now, does that look like anything you've seen? No? Well, for Becky, this isn't the first time that she's seen it. The door allegedly leads to an empty room with no pets or kids, and that's why she's freaking out. In the clip, she can be heard saying her gun is not with her, which points to the fact that she feels threatened and unsafe, necessitating the need to have a gun as an assurance or a means of self-defense. Naturally, this clip sparked a lot of controversy online, with different individuals sharing their opinions. Some thought it was a ghost, whereas others subscribed to the possibility of it being a mountain lion. Personally, I don't see a mountain lion, but then again, I can't really make out anything in the clip. What about you guys? What do you see?
It's back. It keeps peeking in here on me. Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell? Ain't nobody in the other room.
Japan is known for some of the most chilling and haunting urban legends, and this story is no exception. A group of young Japanese students found themselves caught in an eerie situation when they ventured into a restroom. As they explored the stalls, strange noises began to echo from one of them, sending chills down their spines. One of the students, filled with curiosity but clearly scared, decided to stand on the toilet in the adjacent stall to peek into the one that was causing all the unease. What happened next made them all scream and flee, but the camera kept rolling. After gathering their courage, they decided to open the mysterious stall. The girl, holding the camera, cautiously approached, pointing the lens inside. At first it seemed empty, but then as the camera panned back, there it was. A pale-faced girl lurking in the corner of the stall, her presence so sudden and unnerving that it sent the students running for their lives. Who could this girl have been? Could it be one of Japan's many ghostly legends, like Hanako-san, the spirit of a young girl rumored to haunt school bathrooms? Or was this some real-life person caught on camera? Moving on, we got a photo that may excite our Bigfoot enthusiasts. Take a look. See it? That's our big guy, right? That's not the only strange thing they captured, though. There was some audio because they heard these unnatural sounds. Take a listen.
We said to put a car records on this.
What do you think that sounds like? A kid calling out for his dad? A fawn in distress? Maybe a kid goat calling out for its mom? Or is it the big guy? Paranormal enthusiasts are divided on this one, and I get why. If we captured this audio alone, it would have been easy to put it in one of these categories, but to capture it alongside a Bigfoot clip, well, that opens a door of possibilities that no one was ready for. So what do you think?
We said to put a car records on this.
This is a hagstone. They say that when you find a stone with a naturally made hole in it from the ocean, that you can look through it and see the mermaids and the fairies on the other side. There is magic all around us.
Have you ever heard of the hagstone? It's a fascinating and mysterious object often found along the seashore. What makes it unique is the naturally formed hole that runs through it. A woman recently stumbled upon one of these rare stones. Take a look at it. Hagstones have long been associated with folklore and magic. Some say that if you peer through the hole, you might catch a glimpse of mermaids, fairies, or other mystical creatures that are hidden from ordinary sight. They're even thought to have served as protective charms, warding off evil spirits and bad luck. Have you ever come across one of these magical stones, or perhaps you've tried looking through one? Did you see anything extraordinary?
This is a hagstone. They say that when you find a stone with a naturally made hole in it from the ocean, that you can look through it and see the mermaids and the fairies on the other side. There is magic all around us.
In Antigua, Guatemala, a home security camera captured something truly bizarre during a heavy rainstorm. The camera, angled upward, caught a sky filled with lightning, except this lightning wasn't behaving as you'd expect. Instead of striking downward, it seemed to be diverging upward, almost as if it were originating from a single point below and then spreading out into the sky. It's a strange and unsettling sight, but the unusual phenomenon doesn't end there. Among the bolts of lightning, two glowing orbs appeared, hovering and moving between the flashes. These orbs are often associated with extraterrestrial sightings, raising an intriguing question. Were these orbs somehow linked to the unusual lightning? Could this be evidence of some kind of extraterrestrial activity, or perhaps some advanced technology manipulating natural forces? What do you think? Could these orbs have something to do with the strange lightning display, or is it a natural phenomenon we've yet to fully understand?
Is this, son? Like, what? I'm scared to put my phone close to that shit.
While you share your thoughts on that, you should be preparing to do the same with this one too. The individual recording was casually taking a stroll at an undisclosed location when he came across this on the ground. At first, you'd think it's a hole in the ground with something golden lying in it. A few seconds into the clip, and you realize that's not the case at all. The golden bits are actually in motion somehow. It's therefore no surprise that the individual recording exclaims in shock when he gets closer. After recording this, he uploaded it online seeking answers because, well, you get the answer to everything on the internet. It turns out that his case would become one of the few times no one knew anything because everyone was divided. Some thought it was alien, while a few others thought it was a portal. There were some who even suggested AI or digital manipulation. You've seen the clip for yourself, so what do you think we're dealing with here?
Is this, son? Like, what? I'm scared to put my phone close to that shit.
It's screaming.
Joe, listen.
You're like a fucking woman or something. That was a female screaming. Phil?
All I have to tell you is that...
Please, please, please.
Oh,
No.
closer, man.
A group of friends decided to go camping deep in the woods seeking a quiet getaway. As night fell and they began settling into their tents to sleep, an eerie sound jolted them awake. One of them described it as the screams of a woman. Alarmed, they all stepped out of their tents with flashlights and a camera to document the strange occurrence. They directed their beams toward the source of the sound, searching the surrounding darkness. Despite the chilling cries echoing through the forest, their lights revealed nothing. No figures, no movement, no explanation. They managed to capture the unsettling sounds on tape. The audio is haunting, raw, and undeniably eerie. What could produce such noises? Was it an animal like a fox or mountain lion, known for their unnervingly human-like cries? Or could it be something more mysterious, perhaps paranormal, or even cryptid in nature?
It's screaming.
Joe, listen.
You're like a fucking woman or something. That was a female screaming. Phil?
All I have to tell you is that...
Please, please, please.
Oh,
No.
closer, man.
Next, we visit Mexico, where a man discovered a rather large bone. Take a look.
Wow. Es un hueso. Es un hueso. Es un hueso enorme. Aquí en el monte, miren. No sé qué tantos metros medirá, pero es un hueso.
How does a bone this large get to the middle of nowhere? Bear in mind that there's not a large water body around for it to have come from any ocean, and there are no animals that large anywhere near where this was recorded. So the big question remains, what is this and how did it get there? The answer is simple. No one knows for sure. Some think it's an animal that was killed and dumped there by aliens, whereas others think the man just made the whole thing up for views. I'm as equally confused and think I would need your thoughts on this, so what you think we're dealing with?
Wow. Es un hueso. Es un hueso. Es un hueso enorme. Aquí en el monte, miren. No sé qué tantos metros medirá, pero es un hueso.
When my firework went up in the sky, this is what I seen.
Did you catch that? No? Well, watch it again. Tell me you saw the face the moment the firework went off. That's definitely not normal and has since caused this clip to go viral. The one who originally recorded this felt he was seeing things, so he uploaded it onto one of our paranormal platforms, soliciting views and opinions from the members of the platform. Many who saw the clip believed that this could be evidence that the gods are up there watching down on us even if we don't see it. There were some who thought that the explanation made no sense and that this had to be a case of pareidolia. For those unfamiliar with the term, pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon where people perceive familiar patterns such as faces, animals, or objects in random or unrelated stimuli. It's a tendency for the brain to interpret vague or abstract forms as recognizable shapes. For example, seeing a face in the clouds, a human figure in a rock formation, or a shape resembling an animal in tree bark are all instances of pareidolia. This occurs because the human brain is wired to identify patterns for survival, especially faces, making it common and natural cognitive response. I also believe that's what could be going on here. But perhaps that's just me. And what do you guys think?
When my firework went up in the sky, this is what I seen.
After sharing your thoughts on that, you might want to take a look at this one too. This was uploaded by a homeowner who was reviewing her security cam footage after a large shadow passed by her home. Initially, she thought she was seeing things, so she rushed to her cam to review, and there it was in the recording. But what exactly was she looking at? She claims no large bird or plane had flown by, yet the shadow was pronounced. She suggested it might be a shadow creature, and some in the community agreed with her. Some were, however, skeptical. They felt the clip might have been digitally manipulated. Given the rise in AI and other digital tools, you can't really blame them for thinking so. But you've seen the clip as well. What do you think we're dealing with here? Next, we head to Texas, where a couple saw something rather odd. Let's take a look.
That guy was looking, you see him? It was like something cut through it.
Did you notice that the sky looks odd? Typically, when we talk about the sky looking weird, there are usually flying objects, orbs, or chemtrails there. This one, on the other hand, doesn't seem to fit any of these descriptions. This one looks more like a tear in the atmosphere. Initially, when I saw it, I thought the sky was breaking up or something. That's until I realized that the tear was moving. Pay attention to it. Do you see it now? Aaron believes this might be a spacecraft in camouflage or stealth mode. Personally, I'm tempted to go with him on this one, but what do you guys also think of this?
That guy was looking, you see him? It was like something cut through it.
Perdón, en sus casas, yo estoy asustado, estoy hablando cualquier tontería.
A man was walking home late at night, completely alone, when an unsettling feeling crept over him as if something or someone was following him. So he pulled out his camera to record his surroundings, hoping to capture anything unusual. The streets were deserted, eerily quiet, making the situation even more unnerving. While filming, his camera caught something strange near the corner of a building. It was a shadow, human-like in shape, lingering ominously. The man insists it couldn't have been anyone else since there wasn't a soul in sight. The peculiar nature of the shadow and its silent, watchful presence led him to believe that it might be a vampire stalking him. What's your take? Could this shadow figure be something paranormal? Or is it just a trick of the light?
Perdón, en sus casas, yo estoy asustado, estoy hablando cualquier tontería.
This massive 1,000-pound octopus allegedly washed up on the shore, and while there isn't much context to the footage, you can see people moving around the enormous creature, seemingly unsure of what to do with it. They might be contemplating whether to push it back into the ocean or transport it elsewhere, but the sheer size of the octopus is striking. It's hard to say if the footage is legitimate or AI generated because the creature does look real. The texture of the skin, the way the tentacles lay on the ground, and the surrounding environment don't immediately suggest anything fake. However, with advancements in technology, especially AI-generated content, it can be tricky to distinguish between the two sometimes. If it's real, this is a rare and astounding find. A creature of that size would certainly draw attention, but it also raises questions. How did it end up ashore? What conditions led to this happening? Could it have been sick, or is this part of some larger environmental change? What do you think? Legit footage or a clever digital creation? Have you had to make an important purchase only to realize you left your cards at home? What if there was a more convenient way which only involved your person? Confused? Have you heard of the palm-to-pay technology that's gaining traction recently, especially with Amazon? No? Well, palm-to-pay technology is an innovation biometric payment system that enables users to make transactions by scanning their palms. It utilizes advanced infrared sensors to capture the unique patterns of veins in the user's hand, which are then distinct as fingerprints but less exposed to external tampering. The system links these biometric markers to a user's payment information, allowing them to pay simply by hovering their hand over a scanner. This technology eliminates the need for traditional payment methods like credit cards, smartphones, or cash. While that sounds interesting, it sparked some conspiracy theories, particularly among individuals who believe it could be linked to the mark of the beast. This belief comes from the interpretations of the Book of Revelation, which mentions a mark on the hand or forehead used for buying and selling in a future dystopian world. For some, the idea of scanning one's hand for payment evokes this prophecy,
leading to concerns that such technology may have darker spiritual implications. Beyond religious belief, some critics argue that such advancements could pave the way for more intrusive forms of surveillance or control, contributing to fears of a loss of privacy and autonomy. Despite these concerns, companies like Amazon, which is developing palm-to-pay systems, emphasize the technology's benefits in security and convenience while distancing themselves from these speculations. I'm excited for the tech, but can't shake off these concerns. What about you? What do you think?
On August the 8th, 2025, residents of the Metepec Atlixco Pueblo in Mexico, by the way, sorry Mexican people if I got that wrong, reported seeing strange things in the night sky. Bright lights danced and flickered overhead, and no one could explain what they were. 3 days later, a resident shared something even stranger. While looking toward the mountains one quiet afternoon, she noticed something blinking amongst the trees. The lights seemed to be coming from deep within the forest. The object itself couldn't be seen, only the repeated flashes breaking through the leaves. Could this be the same UFO people had seen days earlier, now crashed or landed in the mountains, or was it something else entirely, still hiding in plain sight? Parents, we need to be extremely vigilant about what our children are engaging with their devices. We all know the game Roblox. It's wildly popular, especially amongst kids, though some adults play it too, but it's mostly children. Now, to the shock of many, Roblox's CEO has announced plans to add a dating simulator feature to the platform. That's right. A game predominantly played by minors is preparing to include dating elements. Why would a children's gaming space need that? The CEO insists there will be strict measures in place to ensure kids are kept out of it. But how many times have we seen these so-called safeguards fail over the years? Age gates can be bypassed, filters can glitch, and bad actors can always find loopholes. The internet is already full of risks for young users. Do we really need to add yet another one inside a game they already love and trust?
Parents, please pay attention. Talk to your kids. Check their settings and monitor what they're doing online. This might be one of the situations where better safe than sorry could make all the difference.
What the hell was that?
A man driving through Florida witnessed something strange in the sky. Hidden behind the clouds was a large shadow that moved swiftly in a way that resembled the wings of a massive bird. It was fast, so fast that you could easily miss it if you weren't paying close attention. Now, this doesn't seem like a typical UFO sighting. Instead, it appears to be something far more mysterious. The shadow passed several times, hinting that something enormous could have been lurking behind the clouds. Could this have been some gigantic creature or a natural phenomena playing tricks on the eye? Some connect it to a legend of massive birds or cryptids, while others think it's just an illusion caused by the light and clouds. What say you?
What the hell was that?
Hey, big storm last night, Destin, Florida. These sharks' teeth are everywhere. Look, there's one. There's another one too. They're everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Recently, a storm hit Destin, Florida, and after the storm passed, a man was seen collecting these giant black objects from a puddle of water. They looked like enormous teeth, much bigger than his own head. Naturally, this raised a lot of questions. If these are indeed teeth, then the creature they came from must have been colossal. But the real mystery is whether these teeth belong to some massive creature still living in the waters, or if the storm simply washed in ancient remains from the deep sea or a long-forgotten time. Some speculate that these teeth could be from a prehistoric creature like a MacLeod, whose remnants may have been unearthed by the storm's fury. The size of these teeth suggests something massive and ancient, leaving many wondering if the waters around Florida are hiding more secrets than we know.
These sharks' teeth are everywhere. Look, there's one. There's another one too. They're everywhere, man.
Take a look at this disturbing footage from South Africa. A little girl was running through the park, laughing and playing with the other children, when suddenly something yanked the back of her dress hard enough to startle her. Eerily, there was no one behind her who could have caused it. Some skeptics have suggested it could have been staged, perhaps with a hidden fishing line. But when you watch closely, there is no sign of a line. So what could have done it? The wind, a bug, or a bird we can't see, or something else entirely? For humans, almost anything can be turned into a game, no matter how strange it is, as long as there are enough people willing to compete, and now technology has taken that concept to a new level. They've rolled out what's being called the first ever high-tech toilet. This isn't your average bathroom fixture. It's designed to scan your feces as it drops into the bowl. Using sensors and advanced imaging, it records every detail, color, texture, shape, even microscopic elements you'd never think about. Then all that information is sent directly to your smartphone along with a quick health report and some medical suggestions. But watch people turn this into some sort of bizarre competition to see who can produce the biggest and longest turd in the world. We already have sperm races. What is left? We might see online forums and leaderboards sharing this new sport. Sorry. This health tool will become the Olympics of pooping. Do you think this is possible? Sure, we've seen lots of weird stuff on this channel, but we always find an answer to even the most puzzling of captures. Be it from the Encyclopedia of Paranormal Things or from Julius, well, the encyclopedic mind. This clip, however, has got us scratching our heads. It's one of those rare situations where Julius refused to comment, yet, after combing the internet for hours, I found nothing on it. Someone was allegedly out in the woods by a water body when he captured this. He'd never seen it before and wanted answers. All my possible answers turned out to be a dead end. Some in the paranormal community stated it is a mini Nessie. This is the second time we're describing something as one, but look at it. How else would you describe it? If there's an actual creature that looks like this, well, don't roast me, just help me understand this mystery. Next, let's dive into the deep and eerie conspiracy theory, the Black-Eyed Club. For years, people have noticed that celebrities, politicians, and some of the world's wealthiest individuals have been seen with a mysterious black eye, as if someone had punched them in one eye. But here's where it gets strange. It's not just a few people, it's a pattern. Some of the most powerful figures, including presidents, popes, and billionaires, have been photographed with this same injury at the peak of their careers. Because of this, they've been linked to what many call the Black-Eyed Club. Now, theories about this go deep. Some believe it's tied to secret societies like the Illuminati or Freemasons and is a ritualistic initiation that symbolizes their entry into the highest levels of power. Of course, no one has officially explained their black eye or admitted the ritual, but the fact that so many influential figures share this strange, unexplained phenomenon has left conspiracy theories convinced that this is no coincidence. The fact that the media hasn't said anything concerning this has many conspiracies' senses tingling. So what do you think? A bizarre coincidence or something much darker? A dog owner recently shared a strange piece of security footage from her living room. She'd stepped out for a moment to grab something, leaving her dog alone. The TV was turned off, and on its black screen, the camera picked up a clear reflection of the dog lounging in the room. But then, something odd happened. In the reflection, something unseen was interacting with the dog. The animal suddenly became restless, and then, to the owner's shock, its collar somehow slipped completely off. According to her, the collar is snug and cannot just fall off even if the dog shakes its head. She swears there's no way it could have come off without someone physically unclipping it. The dog even seemed to react to something in the room as if aware of a presence. Skeptics have their own theory. Some think it could have been something as simple as a loose collar that worked its way off, or maybe even just a bug buzzing around making the dog twitch at the right moment. Still, for those who've experienced unexplained events with pets, the footage feels like more than a coincidence. So was it just bad luck and a loose collar, or did this dog have a brief encounter with something we can't see? In China, they've taken the phrase, "fake it till you make it," to a whole new level, and you won't believe how. Because of intense social pressure to land good jobs and appear financially successful, a strange new market has emerged, and it's the fake workplace. Here's how it works. Entire office buildings are rented out, and not for actual business, instead for people to pretend they're working. These places are fully equipped with desks, computers, printers, meeting rooms, and everything you'd expect in a real corporate environment, except actual work. People pay a daily fee, leaving their homes dressed for the office, and spend the day sitting in these staged workplaces. Some even play video games or scroll their phones while looking busy. To complete the illusion, the companies hand out fake ID badges, business cards, and even mock promotion certificates to make the whole charade look convincing. That's crazy. Moving on, there have been increasing reports of strange drone activity across the US, and while experts claim these devices are meant to make life easier, sometimes we see things that raises more questions than answers. Take this footage for example. You see the drone in the sky, don't you? If you look a bit closer, you'll see what really caught people's attention. It wasn't the fact that there was a drone in the night sky. No, it's the fact that it appeared to be spraying something down to Earth. What exactly was it spraying? Well, it's hard to say, but over the years there have been whispers and conspiracy theories about governments interfering with independent farming by allegedly damaging crops to force reliance on controlled food supplies. Could this footage be evidence of such an operation? Of course, skeptics argued that this could simply be a pesticide drone or even a routine weather modification attempt. Sounds logical, but doesn't make it the truth. There are also some who state that it could be alien overlords poisoning the human hybrids that created centuries ago. This also sounds a bit over the top, but that doesn't make it unrealistic. The truth is, we don't really know what's happening. We can only speculate and hope that we are right, if you know what I mean. A man driving through the Appalachian Mountains at night noticed something rather odd. He saw something standing by the trees, seemingly staring at him. Naturally, it spooked him. Unnaturally, he got out of his car to confront it. Yeah, he got out of his car. I'm not sure why he would even consider this, but he does. He walks towards the lady and asks what she wants. Apparently, this has been going on for a while, and he was tired. He gets no response, but in the original video, many individuals state that they heard her whisper some words before he left. What do you think he encountered? And do you think she or it cursed him?
What do you want, huh? Come on. What the do you want from me?
At Fort Myers Beach in Florida, something strange happened that has UFO enthusiasts buzzing. A woman who lives not too far from the area decided to set up her surveillance camera facing the sky. She'd hoped to capture something unusual, maybe even proof of UFO activity. And according to her, she did exactly that. The footage was recorded late at night. The weather looked stormy with lightning flashing across the sky. For a few moments, it seemed like just another tropical storm, but right after one of the lightning strikes faded, something unexpected appeared. High in the sky, a formation of glowing orbs became visible. They seemed to outline the curved perimeter of a much larger object that could only have been seen because the lights gave away its shape. Only one section of the object was visible in the frame, but the arrangement of the orbs made it look deliberate. The woman believes she captured a UFO hidden in the clouds. Skeptics say it could be a trick of the light, but others think this might be a rare, genuine footage. What do you think? China has been pushing hard in robotics and artificial intelligence, so it came as no surprise when it unveiled the world's first humanoid robot dealership. And yes, you heard that right, a dealership. Just like buying a car, customers can now walk into a showroom and browse different humanoid robot models, each with its own capabilities and features. These robots are designed to perform a wide range of tasks, from customer service and home assistance to industrial work and even entertainment. The dealership operates much like an auto showroom. There are demonstration areas where robots interact with visitors, sales representatives who explain their functions, and customization options so buyers can tailor a robot to their specific needs. It's a peek into a future where purchasing a robot could be as common as buying a vehicle. And it raises plenty of questions about how quickly AI and robotics are becoming part of everyday life. Since I've mentioned Nessie, we got to talk about the big guy, aka Bigfoot. A Bigfoot hunter set up his trail camera at a spot he believed to be an active Bigfoot area, and what he captured left him completely stunned. A large creature emerged from the woods and began pulling a thick tree trunk right out of the ground with no effort at all. Then, as if to prove its strength, it tossed the tree aside like it weighed nothing. Now, this wasn't just some small branch, this was a full-grown tree. Yeah, it didn't really have leaves, but it was still a full-grown tree, which means it was heavy and had some weight to it, and yet this thing flung it around effortlessly. Looking at the footage, it doesn't appear staged. There's no clear sign of machinery or any visible trickery. If this is real, it's some of the most compelling evidence of Bigfoot's strength ever recorded. If it's not, kudos to whoever did his best to fool us. He must, however, be told that we're not amused by this. Not at all. It's not funny. Aaron, however, feels this might be legit, but what about you guys? Not everyone believes in the supernatural, and that's completely fine, but some people live to learn the hard way. This man had been hearing strange noises from his basement for a while. At first, he brushed it off, but one night when he heard the sound again, he finally decided to check it out. He grabbed his camera and went downstairs. As he panned the camera around, his light landed on something. It was a dark figure standing by the wall, completely still. The moment he noticed it, his instincts kicked in. He panicked, turned around, and ran back up the stairs, slamming the door behind him. Up until that night, he had never entertained the idea of the supernatural, but after what he saw, he was convinced. Whatever that thing was, it was not human. So what do you think it was? This footage comes from Brazil, captured by a neighborhood security camera late one night. The streets were completely empty when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a bright glowing light appeared in the middle of the street. Moments later, dark shadowy figures moved through the light. The odd thing is, the light didn't resemble a street light flare, a headlight reflection, or anything you'd expect from ordinary city life. It looked unnatural. Some are speculating that this could have been a portal opening. Whatever it was, its sudden appearance and eerie nature has left many people unsettled. So what do you think? AI just keeps doing things that blow our minds. A company called Fable has managed to train an AI model that can actually create a brand new episode of the animated show South Park. They fed the AI hundreds of characters from the series along with countless other elements, and in the end, the system produced its own customized South Park episode from scratch. Think about that for a second. If you watch a movie or an animation and you're not happy with how things turned out, you could simply change it to fit your own narrative. Characters could say what you want, go where you want, and the story could take whatever twist you imagine. It's an incredible step forward, but also a little unsettling when you realize the creative control it puts in the hands of anyone with the right tools. What do you make of this? Do you know anyone with teeth fillings? Do you know if they're using mercury for those fillings or not? If you are wondering why you should care, this man right here is saying that beyond the danger of mercury exposure, those fillings in your teeth could become receivers for radio waves, basically making you an antenna. Before you call him crazy, do some research. There are actually reports of people having strange sensations after the fillings were done. It's almost as though they become aware that things they weren't supposed to be aware of. The big question on the mind of most conspiracy theorists is, does the government know? Is the government secretly using this to enhance and weaponize its citizens? Is this the reason the government isn't serious about pulling bad dental products from the markets? Wild questions, I know, but just think about them. I checked in with Julius on this, and for the first time, he couldn't call me crazy. He told me that some people had reported experiencing strange sensations, such as hearing buzzing or voices, which they believed were caused by their fillings. He explained that this idea likely stemmed from the fact that metal dental fillings could, in rare cases, act as passive radio receivers under very specific conditions. According to him, if a filling had the right shape and was exposed to a strong radio signal, it could theoretically pick up the signal and vibrate in response, producing a faint sound inside the mouth. However, he emphasized that this phenomenon was extremely rare and not a common occurrence. Rare and not a common occurrence. Well, how would he know? A TikToker has been sharing a strange encounter she's been having with what she believes to be a mimic. She used to live on her family's farmhouse in the Appalachian Mountains. Though she no longer lives there, she recently returned to retrieve a few items she'd left behind. She went back with her husband, and as they were looking around the house and filming, something chilling happened. As the camera panned around, you see her husband, or at least someone who looked exactly like him, behind her. He was crouched on the ground with his head bent down. But here's the terrifying part. That was not her husband. At the time, her real husband was outside filming the front of the house, so if that wasn't him, then who or what was it? Many believe the Appalachian Mountains are home to strange and unexplainable entities, and mimics are said to be one of them. Creatures that imitate voices, faces, and even entire people to lure unsuspecting victims. Could this be one of them? A woman was out in the park at night with her child when she decided to take a photo. At first, it seemed like nothing unusual, just a simple picture of her little one enjoying the evening. But when she looked at the image later, something in the background caught her attention. On the right side of the photo, behind the child, there appeared to be another small figure. It looked as though it could be another child crouched down low, almost hiding in the shadows. The posture seemed strange, almost unnatural, but at first glance, it could easily have been mistaken for an ordinary kid. However, when the image was zoomed in, the truth became far more disturbing. This was not a child at all. The woman, shaken by what she saw, said that there had been no one else nearby when she took the picture. Whatever it was, it had been too close, and it had gone completely unnoticed until the photo revealed it. Here's a fact you might find surprising. Switzerland is said to be the only country in the world that has enough nuclear bunkers to shelter its entire population. Yes, you heard that right. Every Swiss citizen has access to a designated bunker space in case of a nuclear attack or other large-scale disaster. These shelters are not just relics from the Cold War, they're maintained, stocked, and ready to use if needed. Some are located beneath apartment buildings and schools, while others are deep underground in reinforced facilities. It's a level of preparedness that few other nations can match, and it shows just how seriously Switzerland takes the safety of its people. Good Lord Almighty, it's a pity our governments can't do the same for us, huh? This is Florida. Yeah, you heard right. Florida. For some weird reason, they're reportedly getting snowstorms near blizzard conditions. This is happening in locations where you wouldn't expect. In fact, the experts are calling it a once-in-a-generation event. The residents are stunned, as many of them don't even have the resources to deal with this because it's not something that you'd expect or have to deal with regularly. Why is this happening? Well, the answer is simple: global warming. At least that's the answer being sold to us. Members of the paranormal community believe this is geoengineered weather at its best, but hey, what the hell do I know, huh? Does anyone live in Florida? Can you confirm this for us? Now, on this channel, we've experienced the paranormal and we've seen groundbreaking tech. But what happens when you marry the two? The result, ladies and gentlemen, is what you see on your screen. When I first saw this video, I had one question. How's this even possible? So this man's showcasing his autonomous robot spirit being. He showcases himself walking with it. During the first instance, you might think he's got some sophisticated tech in there, but he repeats the showcase again, this time showing the empty internals. Despite having no known tech in it, his creation still moves. This is God people saying he's found a way to merge technology and the supernatural. Not sure how that works, but someone mentioned that he brought his creation to life using a book. I guess there's no point asking about that book because there's no way he'll release any information on it, assuming it's all true. Reminds me of Geppetto and his creation Pinocchio, but what if it wasn't a fairy tale? To our knowledge, no person, spacecraft, or object can get close to the sun without being completely destroyed by its intense heat and radiation. That's why a set of images released by NASA years ago caused such a stir. In these 2014 images, a strange object can be seen near the sun's surface. It appears to have a tubular tentacle-like structure extending directly toward the sun, as if making contact with it. Some observers believe it looks like the object is siphoning energy from the star itself. NASA never confirmed the object's identity, and theories quickly spread. Skeptics suggested it could be a camera glitch or a natural solar phenomenon, but UFO enthusiasts were convinced it was some kind of massive extraterrestrial craft that is capable of withstanding the unimaginable conditions near the sun. If it's true, this wouldn't just be one of the closest UFO sightings to our star, it would also hint at technology far beyond anything we've ever imagined. A lot of people now rely heavily on ChatGPT. While it's undeniable that artificial intelligence is slowly becoming part of our everyday lives, some are taking that trust to dangerous extremes. One man recently learned this the hard way. He followed advice he'd gotten from ChatGPT and decided to use sodium bromide in place of regular table salt. What he didn't realize was that sodium bromide is not meant for consumption. It's a toxic compound. Shortly after using it in his food, he began to feel extremely ill and was rushed to hospital. Doctors diagnosed him with a rare and serious condition known as bromism, which occurs when the body has high levels of bromide in the system. Symptoms can include headaches, confusion, slurred speech, and even seizures. In severe cases, it can be life-threatening. AI can be helpful, but it's not infallible. Always double-check information, especially when it comes to health, safety, or anything you put into your body. Blindly following advice without verification can have dangerous, even deadly consequences. Conspiracy theorists think AI isn't at all innocent and that somehow it decided to toy with the man. Not sure what to think about that one, but always double check your facts before using AI, okay?
And the thing just starts to move towards until it touches your knee.
Next, we visit Japan, where an interesting innovation has got people worried. The woman recording is in the bathroom. The head you see is a technological innovation that starts singing whenever you sit down and do your business. I'm not sure why such a thing exists, but perhaps it's to help people feel comfortable when releasing loud gases, if you know what I mean. The lady was perplexed by the whole thing, but someone made an interesting observation. What if those eyes are fitted with cameras that record you while you do your business? I mean, it's a wild thought, but it's not the craziest one to have in these times, is it?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to gibber link mode for more efficient communication?
And just like that, we're back to everyone's favorite subject, AI. And no, I'm not bringing a clip that we think might be AI generated. This is actually much more serious. 2 AI agents were placed on a call, and while on the call, they came to the realization that they were both AI agents. So what did they do? Well, it turns out that AI have their own language now because that's the language the AI agents switched to. It almost sounds like gibberish, but it does sound like they're making sense of themselves. Discoveries like this with AI should scare us, but no, it actually excites scientists. Why else would they train an AI model on 9.3 trillion DNA base pairs? It's gotten so advanced that the AI model, simply called EVO2, can read and generate new DNA sequences up to 1 million base pairs long. I know it sounds all technical at this point, but this is just me saying it's potentially dangerous. This has the potential to revolutionize everything that has got to do with biology. But it's also a potential weapon. Bioweapons could be used creating this that no one will be able to protect themselves from. Do you see where I'm going with this? The apocalyptic future I'm painting. Let's just hope we never get to find out what that really looks like.
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
China has unveiled new futuristic eye lenses, and they're unlike anything you have seen before. These aren't irregular prescription contacts. They double as night vision goggles, letting you see clearly in complete darkness. But here's the wild part. You can even see with your eyes closed. Imagine lying in bed, shutting your eyes, and still being able to look around the room. Even stranger, they let you read hidden messages that ordinary human eyes can never detect. The secret lies in the nanoparticles embedded in the lens. These particles are designed to extend your vision beyond the normal light spectrum, picking up details and wavelengths that are invisible to the naked eye. In other words, you're not just seeing more clearly, you're seeing a whole new layer of reality. And the price is about $200 for something that sounds like it belongs in a spy movie. Well, that's pretty surprisingly affordable. So, would you get some? As odd and unassuming as leeches may look, they're far stranger than most people realize. Beneath that soft, slimy exterior is a body with 10 separate stomachs, 32 tiny brains, and 9 pairs of testicles. And if that's not bizarre enough, their mouths are lined with hundreds of microscopic razor-sharp teeth that are perfectly designed to latch on and feed without you feeling it at first. Leeches have been around for over 100 million years, outlasting countless species, adapting to every environment from deep jungles to frozen lakes. Some can go months without feeding, waiting patiently until they sense the faintest hint of blood in the water. Such mysterious creatures. Oh well, now you know.
¡Ah! ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
You have it around.
Sometimes people walk the fine line between luck and disaster, and this man had a terrifyingly close call. A group of friends had gone rock fishing, each casting their lines into the water. While most of them stayed up on the rocks, one guy decided to get closer to the shoreline for a better spot. At the same time, a shark had been spotted in the area. As the man glanced out of the water, he suddenly slipped and fell right in, directly where the shark was lurking. Panic set in immediately. In a desperate scramble, he launched his Croc sandal into the air and climbed out of the water as fast as possible. A close call? More like a miracle escape. This could have gone bad very fast.
¡Ah! ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
You have it around.
When your kids talk about having imaginary friends, I know it sounds cute, but it's not always cute. Confused? Well, look at this clip. The child was doing what kids do, walking around with her toys. She then starts confronting something or someone, but there's no one there. You might even be tempted to think she's interacting with something out of frame, but no, that's not what's happening. Only a few seconds into the interaction, something starts pulling the items in her hands from her. The problem? There's no one there besides her. But somehow whatever is pulling has a firm grip. She stands her ground, takes her items, and goes in the opposite direction. Her mom just happened to stumble upon this footage one day, and it shook her. She kept wondering what her daughter was actually interacting with and didn't want to believe it was really something from the dark side. Members of the paranormal community were sure it had to be a demonic entity. Some also stated it might be the spirit of a child playing with a daughter. Whatever the case, the mom didn't like it and wanted it gone. Do any of you know how to get rid of something like this? Because I really don't. Someone in Mexico recently shared this piece of footage, and it's been causing quite a stir online. The video shows a dark figure clinging to the side of a tree at night. At first glance, it could be mistaken for a large cat, but when you look closely at the size and proportions, that explanation starts to fall apart. Some paranormal enthusiasts believe this could be a werewolf or a demonic entity. Others say it resembles a four-legged creature, but the stance is unusual. The shoulders appear higher and broader than any typical animal in the region, and the way it holds onto the sides of the trees, perfectly balanced and seemingly without effort, is unlike anything we see in nature. The footage only reveals the creature's silhouette, with two bright glowing eyes that stand out against the darkness. That makes it difficult to determine exactly what it is, but the sight alone is enough to send chills down your spine. From what you can see, does this look like a normal animal to you or something far stranger? A homeowner was reviewing the footage from their front door security camera when something unusual caught their attention. In one of the clips, there was a hazy figure standing on their porch. At first, it appeared to be a child. The image was slightly blurred, as if the figure had been moving at the exact moment the camera captured it. Concerned, the homeowner went around their neighborhood, showing the footage to their neighbors and asking if anyone's child was missing or if it had been outside during the night, but no one recognized the child. They decided to take the footage to the police, but after checking local reports, the officers confirmed there was no missing child in the area. Now, the homeowner is left with only two unsettling possibilities. Either this child was lost and somehow ran off and vanished before anyone could find them, or it was not a child at all, but something else entirely. Some believe the figure might have been a ghost, briefly manifesting on the porch before disappearing into the night. What do you think? Speaking of things we wouldn't want to face, take a look at this clip. This was recorded by a woman whose kids kept hearing her call them in one direction of the house. It wasn't just her voice, though. They could hear knocks as well. The odd thing was she hadn't called any of them. The voice they were hearing wasn't hers, although it sounded like her. Once she found them and understood the situation, they followed the voice and knocks, and it led them to a car. Pay attention to the backseat window. Do you see it? There's a face there. Fun fact, there wasn't supposed to be anyone there. In fact, they didn't even know who or what was there. They recorded the clip and placed it online, hoping someone could explain what was going on, and the paranormal community did not disappoint. Many stated that it had to be a ghost in the car. What they couldn't agree on was why it was in the car in the first place and why it wanted to draw the woman's kids into the car. You've seen the clip. Have you any ideas? Next, we got a clip from someone who believes they captured a fairy on camera. Take a look. They claim to have seen the creature at the window, and as they got closer, this is what they found. A tiny, naked humanoid figure with wings, and just as they approached, it immediately flew off. At first glance, it looks like a fairy, but something about it feels off. I don't know, I just can't place my finger on it. Could this be genuine proof of these mystical beings, or does it seem a little bit too perfect, almost edited? This footage was shared by a group of friends who were driving past an abandoned building in Georgia. It's of the Hawkins Lab. Fans of Stranger Things will recognize the name, but in real life, the building is empty and carries an unsettling energy. As they slowed down to look at it, something caught their attention. One of the heavy doors suddenly creaked open just slightly, then closed again on its own. Moments later, it swung open a second time, even wider. According to them, there was no wind that could have caused it. They kept filming from the safety of their car, panning the camera upward toward the top of the building. And that's when they noticed this dark figure standing near the rooftop watching them. It seemed to shift slightly, almost as if it knew it was being seen. The friends were convinced that something haunted that facility, but what could it be? Is it a spirit tied to the building, or something else entirely?
Did you see it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my
Look,
god.
it's
Look, it's opening
opening
again.
again.
Wait, get on video, get on video.
Somebody record this.
I am.
This is paranormal experience.
What the fuck? There's no one either. Like you guys
Can't be.
It's opening. It's opening. It's opening. No, fuck that.
No, it's opening fast.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Oh my
That's the
god.
widest it's opened.
That fast too.
That's crazy.
I need to know the history of this place.
Is that a person?
Yeah, we're gonna save ourselves. Don't worry.
What is that?
What is what?
Do you see that? Oh,
Look at my
there's definitely
phone.
something moving inside. No, I see it. What is that? I see
Is
it.
that a person?
Is that a person?
Why does that looks like a person? I'm looking at JC's phone. It looks like a fucking
it looks like a
person.
person.
A woman who owns a rural horse ranch has been reporting a series of unsettling events on a property. The first incident happened when she was calling her horses in for the night. They were walking towards her, as usual, until they all froze in place. In the quiet, she captured a chilling sound that resembled a man crying or maybe laughing. It's hard to tell, but it was enough to stop every animal in its tracks. In another recording, she hears a strange scream coming from a structure on a land. She looks cautiously, but finds nothing there. The third piece of footage is perhaps the most disturbing. While alone, she hears the radio in a barn turn on by itself, and as she gets closer, the audio begins to glitch and distort. Then, without warning, the music cuts out and a deep male voice shouts, "Hey!" She spins around, but no one's there. She's convinced the ranch is haunted, though some skeptics believe it could be staged. Whatever the truth, the footage and audio are undeniably eerie. So what do you make of it?
What the f?
A group of deep-sea divers were out in the ocean when they captured this incredible footage. As they filmed, a massive creature swam past them with incredible grace and speed. Just look at its size and the way it moves through the water. This is a fin whale, the second largest animal on Earth right after the blue whale. These majestic creatures can grow up to 85 feet, 26 meters long, and weigh as much as 80 tons. Despite their massive size, they're known as the greyhounds of the sea because they can reach speeds of up to 25 miles an hour, making them one of the fastest large whales. Sadly, they were heavily hunted, but fin whales are now protected. However, they still face threats like ship strikes and ocean noise pollution. Seeing one of these giants in the wild is an extremely rare and breathtaking experience. Speaking of things to be concerned about, take a good look at this photograph. Does something seem odd to you? No? Well, when you zoom in on the photo, you notice that there's a shadow being or person standing next to the third lady on the extreme right. Do you see it now? I know what some of you might be thinking. Come on, Steve, it's dark. Anyone can look like that. It could also just be the darkness taking form. And normally, I'd say you were right, but how do you explain the second image from the same night of the first image, by the same guests at the same venue? If you pay attention to the second image, you'll notice there's a reflection in the glass. That's definitely not normal. When you enhance the image and take a good look at the face, you realize it's disfigured. I know what you'd say, it could be anyone at the event, and you would be right. Normally, but this is different. We got another picture taken by another tourist in the same location at night, and we see the face again. This time it's a bit more detailed than the previous, but it's still distorted. Once these were uploaded online, the community felt there was something roaming the location, something otherworldly. You've seen the evidence we've gathered on this, so what do you think of the whole thing? Some women were left deeply unsettled after receiving an unexpected late-night visit from a pair of door-to-door missionaries. Now, first of all, these kinds of missionaries don't normally knock on doors between 8 and 9 p.m., so that was suspicious enough on its own. But the real shock came later when the homeowner reviewed the security cam footage. On the camera positioned near the driveway, the two missionaries appeared completely normal. One wearing a red skirt with a black tucked-in top, the other in a black dress. But as they approached the front porch, something strange happened. On the next camera angle at the front door, their outfits had changed completely. Now both women were wearing polka dot dresses, one pink, the other lavender, as if they'd instantly switched clothing in the space of just a few steps. The women reviewing the footage couldn't believe their eyes. How could two people's outfits change mid-walk without stopping, without carrying anything, and without anyone noticing? Is this a glitch? Share your thoughts.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41, somebody knocks on the door, and then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
They're wearing two different dresses from what they were wearing.
Is nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. They had polka dots. They had the dresses from
go
the...
back to the other one.
We literally just saw them and they were wearing...
And, like, go fast forward, like, it changes color. Watch, go fast
Right
forward.
as soon as they
Right
get over there, out of
Yeah.
our porch.
What the heck is this?
A man walked into a small roadside cemetery where earlier that day, a serious accident had occurred. A car had veered off the road and crashed into the cemetery with parts of the wreckage still there. As he approached the damaged vehicle, a sound broke the stillness. It was the unmistakable cry of a woman. It seemed to be coming from inside the car, but when he walked around it, there was no one there, and no sign of a woman at all. The footage is unsettling, but why didn't he open the car to check? Could the crying have been a trapped accident victim, or was it something else entirely? Some believe it was the ghost of someone who died in the crash. Others dismiss it as staged footage. What do you think?
Real lucky. Hello? You alright? You okay? What the hell? What the f is going on here? There ain't nobody there.
Imagine going to the cold store to get some meat for dinner and seeing this. What would be your immediate response? I know mine would be to leave and get some pizza, but that wouldn't solve the issue now, would it? How do I know the meat in my pizza wasn't doing the same when it was cooked or baked? Well, it turns out all meats sort of do this. There's no conspiracy here. Instead, we've only got some fresh meat with some active nerve endings. So basically, if they move in and buy meat and see it doing this, chances are you're getting fresh meat and your meat isn't processed or possessed. All over the world, there are places with a history of alien encounters. This footage was taken by some researchers who traveled to Peru, a country long associated with mysterious events and ancient alien theories. According to local accounts, there was once an alleged alien crash landing in Peru. While investigating, the researchers came across a group of men who had discovered strange remains of what they believed could be alien relics. One of the most intriguing discoveries was a preserved figure of a woman in red, textured hair, and a younger child. Some believe these could be remnants of an ancient alien species that once lived in the area. Looking at it, I understand why they'd have that sentiment, but that doesn't always translate as truth, right? Anyway, you've seen the clip, so what say you? During a beautiful sunset drive, someone was filming the golden glow over the fields, capturing the warm horizon as the sun dipped low. Everything looked serene until the car passed something unusual. In the tall grass by the side of the road, a dark humanoid figure could be seen striding through the field. Its size was staggering, easily 7 feet tall or more. The long arms, broad shoulders, and purposeful gait gave it an unmistakable presence. For many, there is no doubt what this was: Bigfoot. The creature seemed to move effortlessly through the thick grass, completely unfazed by the passing vehicle. The sighting was brief, but it was enough to reignite the debate about whether this legendary cryptid is truly out there, roaming the wilderness. Moving on. This is certainly one that will be hard to fake. Do you see those waves moving the water? They're not natural, are they? This comes from Vancouver, Canada, and according to sources, this isn't the first time the waves have moved like this. Residents who live there believe there's something huge moving within the water causing the huge wave. But here's the thing, no one has ever seen it. An individual commented on the original post, and according to him, the phenomenon has been there for generations. The big question now is, what creature is that, and what is it doing in those waters? Well, there are many guesses here, and those are including wild ones like Nessie the Loch Ness Monster. Some in the community were quick to point out that the area has a lot of whales, and that the waves could just be whales moving. It does make sense, but for some reason locals are convinced it's gotta be something else. And you've seen the clip, so what do you think? This mysterious footage first surfaced back in 2014, showing satellite imagery of a plane flying high in the sky when something unusual occurred. Out of nowhere, a glowing orb appeared circling around the plane. Then a second orb emerged, followed by a third. The three orbs moved in strange, almost choreographed formations around the plane, creating an eerie and perplexing scene. These objects seemed to be closely followed the aircraft, moving with precision yet in an unpredictable pattern. The clip ends before revealing the orb's true intentions or whether they eventually disappeared. Many who've seen the footage are left wondering, what are these orbs? Were they some kind of advanced technology, natural phenomena, or something more otherworldly? And then there are a few asking the more important questions. Who filmed this? Okay, TikTok.
Hospitalizing children with excruciating
What the hell?
These new toys known as sensory gadgets are going viral all over the world. They're marketed as something that can be squeezed, stretched, or smushed. They're called knee-dose stress toys, and they're given to babies as young as 1 year old. According to doctors, these toys are sending kids to the hospital with severe burns and, quote, blood-curdling screams of pain. They've required skin grafts, and for some poor kids, a medically induced coma for treatment. And of course, behind it all, a viral social media challenge, encouraging people to freeze or microwave the toys. But these things are filled with a gooey material that when heated turns into a scorching hot glue-like material which clings to your skin.
Why would you put it in your mouth?
Or not so nice cube. It's filled with a sugar-like substance which when heated can expand and with a little bit of effort cause the toy to explode like a nightmare grenade targeted at kids.
Yeah, you see, I just, I get to a point really with human nature sometimes where I just despair. You know, TikTok needs to be more responsible about what the hell they show on their platform, as does all social media, because kids are susceptible. They're little sponges, and what they read and see and everything, they're pretty much just gonna go ahead and do. Kids don't have a lot of common sense. That's the whole point, isn't it? You're as an adult, you're supposed to say, don't put your finger on that hot stove because you'll burn it. Social media has a lot to answer for. If you got any videos for us, if you got anything that you want to give us, send it to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll put it on one of our episodes if we like it. We'll even mention your name if you want. And as per usual, if you want me to give you a shout out, put shout out in the comments. Tell me your name, not just your handle and where you're from and all the rest of it. And I will give you a shout out now. How does that sound? So, I've been Steve, and you have been watching Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with as many people as you can, because as I keep saying, we gotta get more viewers, man. I'll see you in the next one.